All right, hey everybody, I'm Travis, aka TMC Online, and what I set out to build today was basically putting up a web interface on top of small dev, and in particular, my fork of small dev, which is called small dev go. If you're not familiar with small developer, the idea is that it is a program synthesis, LLM, maybe too much to call it an app, really simple script from Swix that basically from a high level description, markdown file, you get like a full program synthesized. Something that I found in porting it is that that kind of like initial shot, like hope for the best, is not very realistic, and often an initial file generated isn't what you want. And so I'm going to kick this off here. I threw in a live title set gen. We had less time to work on the UI than we intended, but I'll talk through what you're going to see here. So if you're not familiar with small developer, it kicks off an initial prompt where it plans out what files to generate given the description of the program. And it also goes through a phase. So what you see in here is the initial file planning phase. You see that. It goes through a phase that you're seeing now, which is a phase of defining and making connections between dependencies or symbols within the generated code set. And then what you'll see and what we really hope to show in like streaming in each file, but once this phase is done, you'll see, and again our UI time was a little low, that for all these files which are now pending, I think I set concurrency down to just 2 here, you can go much faster with OpenAI, but you'll see that, okay, live demo gods. So the intent here was that we wanted to render like a tree of files, and then the interactions we wanted to support were blow away this one file. So the implementation here is basically building a GraphQL schema on top of the capabilities that small dev and small dev go supply. And the ultimate goal, we got less far than we intended to, is to support an initial generation, but then an iterative process where you amend your initial prompt. You say, this file should be not included at all, this file should be regenerated, these files should be added. And so the net intended result here, again, should have gone further. The intended result is to have this tool that to not produce a final result on the first generation, but to support you in a process of iterating. I don't think we're to the point where full correct program synthesis is exactly tractable, but I think tools that are in this space can help us cover a lot of ground really quickly. For my own work, if I'm writing a small tool for something, I'll often scaffold out the first, the initial skeleton of it. So that's that. Let me know if you're interested in hacking them. Any questions?
Are you gonna put this up online so I can use it?
Yeah, running localhost right now. Yeah, I'll have it up by tonight.
Okay.
But it's super easy to run locally too.
Yeah, please send a website. I think tons of people want to use small dev, but are put off by the slight inconvenience of installation.
Yeah. Basic idea is make it more accessible, but also like I've like crafted a command line workflow with it where I like go delete a file and save some things, but I think having a web-based thing could be really helpful.
Sir, is there any existing web-based code-based generator? I don't know of any.
I don't know. Maybe I should have checked before I wrote this ever.
Have you heard of E2B? So they have like a kind of an on-demand containerization service for agents.
Yeah.
And I think they're hosting small dev. Actually, they are hosting small dev. It has a very similar UI.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's check that out.
Yeah, we'll do. I've been watching the E2B project. Cool. Other questions? Okay, here this time concurrent generation of files.
So what are like the common failure modes of small dev, and what is it really good at?
Well, I mean, the most common failure mode is just that the resulting file don't compile or work. I mean, and that largely depends on the quality of the initial prompt. So as you continue prompting, and actually I actually scaffolded this effort out with the kind of CLI version of small dev go, and you can see what the prompt I was using. And I actually ended up in here like verbatim GraphQL schema. So it really depends on what you put in your prompt. That's the biggest thing. The techniques that we employ I copied from Swix that is employed to compute like the dependencies between different concepts in the files. I think there's a lot of opportunity to iterate on that. It's pretty naive right now. So yeah, I still find it very, very useful for at least getting the structure of a project down.
Maybe small dev handles this, but what is the output of the prompt? Is it just text, or is it like a JSON function caller or something?
Well, so it's made up of, it's a series of prompts that make up how small dev works. The first, for me, my implementation here, I'm outputting JSON for the intermediate steps, the like file planning, and then the internal dependency step, and then the last generation for the actual file contents is just straight contents to disk.
How do you, like, if the AI responds with like something not, you don't expect you to parse it out, or like how do you do that stuff?
Probably should. No, it's just basic prompt engineering to try to discourage it not to. A big iteration of this would be to add function calling to get more structured out.
Is there a like small dev, like GP engineer style code base generator that does code interpreter style feedback and iteration?
I would love to build that. I'm not familiar with one. In my workflow, I often will take the output of this and then feed it back in, and like even pasting errors into the original the prompt so it avoids it. So not that I'm aware of. I feel like with some effort, I think you could iterate on something like this.
Yeah, probably huge.
The function calling actually produces worse code, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
people
really
have figured that out, so it might be something to watch out for.
very good to know that.
Yeah.
There's a blog post.
Yeah, and honestly, like it's not that hard to encourage GP4 to give you code.
Anything else? All right, let's hear it.
Great, thank you, sdgui.